It's okay to collect things you need, but when they stop serving their purpose, it's important to let them go. This way, you will hang on more to memories and experiences over stuff. We've made a list of 10 things you can declutter right now. This will help you make space for what you really need while saving your money. Number 10. Outdated electronics. With the way technology advances in a week, no one is shocked when you say you have something outdated. It doesn't matter that you got it 2 years ago or 20 years ago. If you have upgraded, then it's certainly time to move on completely. Usually, people hold on, thinking they will use them or that they can use them as antique decoration pieces. Yes, some people think printers and old desktops add to the house's personality, but you might need to get rid of some electronics. For example, if you still have CDs and DVDs, and a CD player or DVD player that you don't use, then it's time to unload. Make sure you get the cords and accessories to go with it as well, especially if you can't use them with your upgraded gadgets. You can always donate them or sell them. You'll be surprised at what people will buy, and when you see the space you have after you get rid of them, you will be pleased with your decision. Number 9. Old magazines, newspapers, books, and calendars. Reading is one of the best ways you can spend your time. It is also great that there are many options out there for how people can choose to enjoy their reading. Sometimes you read something and it makes you laugh hard or imagine a better version of your life. Sometimes it's clippings where you are featured and you want to show that to your grandkids. It evokes such deep emotions that you think you will keep it forever so that you can always keep coming back to it. But the truth is, you rarely ever go back to them. It's safe to assume that if you haven't looked at them in a year, you won't go back to them ever. If you were artistic, you could repurpose those and make something out of them. You could also give them to artists who use them to do stuff. Most of the magazines, newspapers, and calendars now have a digital option. You can sign up for those online options, which allow you to enjoy more content while saving up space. That way, you don't have to spend money on things like calendars and magazines, which would cost more in the long run, rather than subscriptions that you can opt out of when you feel like it. Without those many books, your bookshelf won't have to sag under the weight of all those books. That means you won't have to buy bookshelves every other year. Number 8. Digital clutter. You probably have gotten a notification on your phone telling you about storage space. And of course, you upgraded your phone to one that will never send you such notifications. But there is such a thing as digital clutter. Going digital is usually the go-to option when you have a lot of things and it works. You can store your photos, movies, music, and more. Consider going with the cloud options for the different services you use. Look through your camera roll. You probably have 50 copies of the same picture and only one made it to Instagram. Delete the rest. You will not be using them. If you haven't watched your favorite movie in 2 years, then you probably won't get to it. Go ahead and delete that too. Make room for things that actually serve you in the present and make you happy. Number 7. Kids' toys and artwork. It's easy to think your kids are geniuses, destined to do great things in the world, especially when they are in that free creative stage where they make a mall out of Legos and come home with a drawing of a 3-legged dog. Just because your child couldn't go to sleep for the first 5 years without a particular stuffed animal doesn't mean they will still feel the same way when they are 30 years old and have moved out of the home. Children don't hold the same sentiments about those items, so you should feel free to go on and throw them out, or donate them to people who need them more. That way, you won't have to look for durable storage containers to keep the items through the elements and the years. This will also make it easy for you if you need to move or downsize your space. This is also the category for things your kids did. Maybe a school project that they don't remember anymore, or a uniform they just looked so cute in but have since then outgrown. You don't have to be a parent to do this though. If you come across things you did as a child, or had as a child that you no longer think about, it's time to let go. Number 6. Home decor. We all want the spaces we spend our time in to look great, but sometimes we go overboard with what we get, and it starts to look like clutter instead of a work of art. You don't need to fill your coffee table with thousands of magazines and coffee books that you never look at. You also don't need to have so many plants at every turn that you end up tipping them over. Some of those decorative pieces are just dust traps and cost way more to maintain, both in money and time. You can decide to hang up just a few of your pictures. If you find yourself thinking every 2 days that you need to change up the look of your house so that you can bring some decorative pieces to the forefront, then it's a sign to get rid of some things. Simple places can look great and inviting without being overbearing. Just a candle for your coffee table is good enough. It is a multi-purpose item that will not cost as much. You can also decide to give each piece a season, and once that's done, you can move them out. Number 5. Your time. This is the generation that is always busy. There is some pride in that when you cancel plans because you are supposedly busy, and you get to tell your friends that you are busy even though it is nothing more than catching up on your favorite show. Being busy is not always a good thing, especially when you can't do it in moderation. You end up getting stressed, and that affects your physical health. You also neglect your relationships, and that leaves you feeling lonely and depressed. How you manage your time will save you from so many things, like last-minute activities that will dig into your money. For example, if you meal prep way earlier, you won't have to spend money for a takeaway pizza at the last minute. Have your priorities and list them out on a to-do list so that you can keep track of how you accomplish them. Make sure you also have time to just relax and enjoy yourself. Number 4. Shoes you don't use. Shoes are a great accessory to any outfit, and they allow you to be able to move without fear of cuts or mud. We all want to get shoes for every occasion: workouts, work, partying, and so on. Having particular shoes for the purpose makes it easy to navigate those tasks. However, we could get caught up in doing so and overbuy. If you are a homebody and hardly go out to parties, you can do with just a single pair of party shoes. The rest are clutter, and you should donate them. The same is true if you enjoy parties and are hardly at home. You don't need a mountain of house slippers that just take up space. There's a joy that comes with having options in so many things, but that is nothing compared to the freedom of a clutter-free shoe closet. Go through your shoes and keep only the ones that serve you. Number 3. Old cleaning products and personal care. All the ads we watch on TV, on social media, and billboards convince us that there are new products with better ingredients to get the job done. This applies to both cleaning products and personal care products. Therefore, you might find yourself with over a dozen products that claim to do the same things, but you've hardly used them in months. Some of those you only use once, but keep thinking you'll hold on to for when the others run out. If you haven't used your makeup and self-care products in over a year, it is not only time to get rid of them, but it is also most likely the healthiest option you can go for. You have no idea how the products will react after months of non-use. Number 2. Expired and unwanted food. It's easy to stock up on food and snacks, especially when you hear all the conspiracies of the apocalypse. Whether it's the zombies or the Hunger Games, you want to be prepared. Stocking up your food may also have nothing to do with those instances. You might find your favorite snack on sale and buy it in bulk. Unfortunately, because life gets so busy, you may hardly remember to eat up. This is more likely when you go out to work all day and come home already full. Then the food and snacks go bad. Also, someone could bring you food that you don't particularly like. Rather than storing that up for long periods, and in so doing attract some bugs, get rid of it. Clear out your entire pantry and keep only that which you consume. When you see how much you've got left, it is easier to plan your next grocery run. You will save plenty of money when you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on food. More so if it's food that you won't even consume. If you enjoyed it so far, please like this video and leave a comment. What is your best way to save money? Number 1. Clothes. According to the Minimalist show on Netflix, Less is More, we spend more on clothes than we do on adult education. There are so many brands out there, and every day someone is coming up with a new style or fashion that you would like to try out. But how often do you dress up in those clothes after that initial buy? You might find that one of them was too big or too small, and you hold on to it thinking you will get to the right size. More often than not, you forget about the item before you are the right size. Rather than hoard all those clothes, give them out to friends or family that will get more use out of them. You can also donate them or sell them for some money. Keep only the clothes you actually use and those that make you feel great about yourself.